Alex was like many young professionals, ambitious, energetic, and full of dreams, but there was one thing that held him back: his anger. It didn't matter if it was a small inconvenience or a major setback, Alex would often react impulsively, letting his emotions take control. His mornings would start with a rush to get ready, and the moment traffic slowed down on his way to work, frustration bubbled inside him. A simple honk from another driver could make him frown, clench his fists, and mutter under his breath. At work, even minor criticism from his manager would feel like a personal attack. Instead of listening calmly, he would argue, defending himself aggressively, leaving colleagues uncomfortable and creating tension in the office. At home, the story was no different. A missed call from a friend, a misplaced item, or even a family member's suggestion could spark sharp words. The people around him started avoiding conversations that could trigger his temper. Slowly, Alex began to feel isolated. Anger had started controlling his life, and he didn't even realize it. Every day, he felt a heavy weight on his chest, anxiety building as he knew that another outburst could come at any moment. What Alex didn't understand was that anger was like a fire. Left unchecked, it could destroy relationships, opportunities, and even his own peace of mind. He tried to calm down after episodes, promising himself to do better tomorrow, but the cycle repeated. Friends would suggest meditation or taking deep breaths, but Alex would often dismiss them, thinking he could handle it on his own. The stress kept mounting, and he started noticing the toll it was taking on his health: sleepless nights, headaches, and a constant sense of irritability. One day, during an important meeting, a colleague made a small mistake that disrupted a presentation. Normally, Alex would have erupted with anger, embarrassing both himself and the colleague. This time, however, he noticed a moment of hesitation before he reacted. That pause, though brief, felt strange to him. It was the first time he realized that maybe, just maybe, he could learn to control his reactions. Later that evening, he shared his frustrations with a wise friend who had always seemed calm in difficult situations. The friend listened patiently, nodding, and simply said, "There is a secret to peace. You don't have to let anger rule you." Alex was intrigued. For the first time, he felt a spark of hope that life could be different. He began reflecting on how many opportunities, friendships, and happy moments he had lost because of anger. The realization hit him hard: if he didn't change, the anger would continue to shape his future. That night, as he lay in bed replaying the day's events, he made a silent promise to himself. He would find a way to control his fire before it consumed him completely. By showing Alex's daily struggles, frustrations, and the growing conflict caused by uncontrolled anger, this part of the story sets the emotional stage. The audience begins to empathize with him, feeling his tension, guilt, and isolation. They are also subtly introduced to the idea that change is possible, creating curiosity and emotional engagement that prepares them for the transformation to come. The day after his conversation with his calm and wise friend, Alex began his journey toward change. At first, it felt awkward. He tried small things, like taking a deep breath before responding when someone annoyed him, or counting slowly to 10 before reacting. The first few times, he failed. His anger still surged, and the frustration of failing made him want to give up. But his friend reminded him gently, peace is not instant. It grows with patience and practice. These words stuck with Alex, and he decided to keep trying. He started paying attention to his thoughts, noticing patterns that led to anger. He realized that most of his outbursts came from assumptions, misunderstandings, or expectations that were too high. By learning to pause and question these thoughts, Alex slowly began to respond rather than react. When a colleague criticized his work, instead of snapping, he listened carefully and asked for clarification. When traffic slowed again, instead of honking and yelling, he put on calming music and reminded himself that he couldn't control everything. These small victories built confidence. Over time, Alex noticed changes not just in himself but in how people treated him. Friends and family began to approach him more openly, and colleagues respected his calm presence. He discovered that inner peace was contagious. By controlling his anger, he created harmony around him. The transformation wasn't instant, but with each day, the fire that once controlled him grew smaller, replaced by patience, awareness, and a growing sense of happiness. One day, a situation arose that would have once triggered extreme anger. A mistake in a project threatened to ruin weeks of work. Normally, Alex would have erupted, blaming everyone and making the situation worse. But this time, he stayed calm. He took a moment, assessed the problem, and calmly suggested solutions. Not only was the crisis handled efficiently, but his colleagues also admired his leadership and composure. Alex realized in that moment that peace was not just about feeling calm, it was about being able to act wisely, even under pressure. Reflecting on his journey, Alex understood a powerful truth: anger had no real power unless he allowed it to. By practicing awareness, patience, and self-control, he had reclaimed his life from chaos. His experience became a lesson he wanted to share with others. He knew that many people struggled with the same problem, feeling trapped by their emotions. If he could change, anyone could. The story ends with a clear moral: peace comes from within, and no external circumstance can take it away once you learn to control your mind. Anger can destroy relationships, opportunities, and happiness, but patience, reflection, and deliberate practice can transform it into strength. The audience is left with a sense of hope, understanding that no matter how strong anger feels, inner peace is always possible. By witnessing Alex's transformation, viewers are motivated to pause, reflect, and take the first steps toward controlling their own emotions, creating a ripple effect of calmness and positivity in their own lives.